Welcome back, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed the silence, because we're not going to have much of that. We've got another bad video game coming up right now. Guess what? With this dramatic music, we have a dramatic reveal. Thunder. Lightning. Wow, where did this weather come from? Oh, I know. The evil mastermind that is here. Our good old cat GM, Corn Dan. Come on in, Corn Dan. And also turn down the lightning, okay? The lightning's really distracting.
Look, you have to have lightning. That's just how it is.
Wow. I mean, I guess that's an option. Oh, shut up. Okay. Well, Corn Dan, okay, despite torturing us with all of the really fake lightning noises going on, what do we have coming up today?
Well, I bring yet another Amiga game.
Ooh.
Right, as I've been going through the Amiga library, because there's a lot of good stuff.
An Amigo with the Amiga. I enjoy good stuff. Yeah, so I honestly do not know a lot of Amiga games, and I don't know this one.
I didn't know it until I will preface it with, I got this from Dana. Dana sent it to me, and I said, I'll check into it at some point in time. It doesn't look that bad. And then I played it. And that is Doofus for the Commodore Amiga.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, people were getting ready for RoboCop, but instead we get Doofus.
Well, after this, you might be wishing for RoboCop.
Like, I would be too surprised, yeah.
RoboCop's a known quantity.
RoboCop definitely is a thing. It exists, and you know that it's going to be a slow, or usually slow platformer at the least. Doofus, on the other hand, is this a platformer?
It is.
Okay.
It is a real bad, like, generic mid-90s PC platformer. And everyone who's played mid-90s DOS crap knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so this is the next Commander Keen. That's what you're saying.
And this is this is way worse than Commander Keen. Like, at least Commander Keen, right, even when the controls were bad, Commander Keen was good.
I mean, you can say that.
Commander Keen was good.
Actually, I love Commander Keen. I've never played through a single game, though. You know, I've only played a little bit, so I need to go back. I've got the full collection.
Commander Keen is totally worth it, right? Jazz Jackrabbit, also pretty good. This, not so good.
Okay. Yeah, maybe one of these days I will go through and play Commander Keen, and maybe even try to play Doofus. I mean, Commander Keen is a Doofus.
But he's a lovable Doofus. This is an angry Doofus. Well,
okay, but
that's not true. The guy in the game, his sprite is happy all the time. It's just going to come to taunt us after, like, 20 minutes of no progress.
Oh, yeah. I really enjoy my games that are a little bit overly difficult, and honestly, I would guess that this is overly difficult just because it is not a great game.
Yeah, and it's overly difficult for stupid reasons. It's overly difficult because the controls and everything are awful.
Oh, I need to tell you, you know what my favorite thing about Commander Keen is? You can kill him in Doom 2.
Well, in this game, see, you will like this game, because in this game you can murder puppies.
Ah, yeah! To the ghost puppies. Ghost puppies.
So this particular game, is that that dog you're traveling with,
murder him?
Follows you, and if he takes damage, you die.
Oh, well, that's less good. You know, I'm not gonna kill dogs if it kills me. I mean, let's be practical here, Corn Dan. Oh.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm not gonna perform whatever spell or make any devil deals that tie my health to an animal's, okay? Because I don't want to control that. That seems terrible. Can you control the dog at all?
Nope. The dog just follows you. So you remember last tournament when we had Beavis and Butthead and you controlled them both simultaneously?
Oh, is this that?
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. You're just making my Sunday fantastic, Corndan.
It is wonderful.
I didn't know I needed this in my life, but now I know.
I was willing to pass off on this just because it looks like generic, like DOS VGA crap. And I'm glad I went back to play it on Dana's recommendation.
Dana, we have to thank and to blame you. By the way, for those who are watching, if you are a little bit new here, we do have game masters who go talk to each other. They usually try each other's games out so that they help, or so that they know what is going to be a quality showing. Dana, I'm unsure if Dana is a GM this year. I don't believe he is, but
he's not. But Dana still helps out.
Yeah.
On top of that, I made Tina play it, and Tina swore at me.
What? Tina, maybe your internet is hiding for a reason.
I definitely cannot repeat what Tina told me about this game.
Uh-oh. That's okay. I'm imagining, wow, that was really bad. That's the way that Tina would say it.
Yes, and very specifically comments about the dog.
Oh, no. Well, I'll have comments for the dog as well. Not just...
yeah, the dog... Look, it's absolutely possible to kill the dog without even trying to kill the dog. And it may be possible that after about a half an hour of this crap, they may be wanting to kill the dog.
I mean, who wouldn't,
However, though, the music's still pretty good, and the graphics aren't that bad. The game is just bad.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Well, here is the game Doofus. We've got some very colorful stuff. Oh my gosh, this is happening music. I love this.
Yeah!
Chad is asking if Ku5ogrande solves diseases.
Yes, we totally do.
Depends on the disease. I would say that the ones listed in chat are not the right diseases to treat, though. You want to see a doctor for those.
Well, yes. So, somebody did post a review of this in chat, and let me read it to you because it is the perfect representation of this game. Doofus is the worst Amiga platformer I've ever seen. Genuinely depressing that someone spent months creating this and believes it's worth selling for £28. God, let this be as bad as it gets. And that is a spot on review.
Oh, good. 4%?
4% review.
Like, what does it take to get such a crappy review?
You'll find out.
Oh, good. I'm so excited.
It takes a lot of things.
Uh-huh. I like this music, by the way. It's super rockin'. You know what? I feel like this immediately adds 10%, so to go back down to 4% is a little bit rough. So it looks like we are having some technical difficulties. We're going to have a stream go down. So we will be back to watch what they've got going on in a little bit. Don't worry, though. We have technical difficulties every once in a while. It happens. It wouldn't be a stream without internet being a big pile of patooties. Everybody throw what you can at Comcast. If you have like dirt in your backyard, you can go grab some of that, just chuck it. Take that, Comcast. Go ahead. Yeah, if you have a butt, just like a butt sitting around on your desk, I wouldn't suggest throwing a person, but just a butt.
It's true. Throw whatever you have at Comcast. Comcast was giving me issues this whole weekend and Friday and yesterday. I think they finally fixed it. I hope they finally fixed it, but it
Yeah.
seems like it's working.
Comcast. Also, feel free to throw Corndan at Comcast.
Sure. I mean, why not?
Yeah, exact. Corndan, you're learning the improv principles like I taught you yesterday. Just yes and. That's what you do.
Sure, absolutely. Throw me at Comcast. I will probably break a window or something on the way in, and then I'll have to go to the hospital.
Well, and then you can sue them for having crappy...
Yeah, for having crappy windows that didn't just break my bones when I hit them.
Oh, yeah. I like it. Hey, I think we do have things ready, at least. They are
Looks
running
like
just
it.
fine, and I don't think I'm even going to have to recrop, like... Oh, I do a little bit. That's fine. I can do that. Everybody just rock out to the hot Amiga music. Give me 1 second.
I am willing to argue this may be the best music we hear all Sunday. Right, out of all 4 games.
I don't
This
know.
might be
The
the
last
best
music
music.
was pretty good.
That's true.
I mean, not as good
if
as
I
this.
if I wanted the bass line to Thriller on the SID chip, that's definitely what I would have gone with.
I mean, that's what I want. Yeah, there's not enough copyright infringement as Chad is, or there's not enough, as Chad is pointing out here. So, you know, we're doing pretty good on the infringement, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult. You know, when you actually have musicians creating music. Just checking right now with the players, what should people spam? Emote-wise.
Dogs. Puppies. Balls. Really creepy face.
Really creepy faces?
Yeah, dude. That guy's face gets real creepy after a while, and not because it looks any different, because after about 30 minutes he's just mocking you.
Everybody, I am doing the countdown in Discord, so spam those emotes. Oh, look at them all flying up. Corndan, I love having these emotes show up.
That's great.
Just makes me happy. Pentagrams? That might be appropriate. I don't know. Do they have pentagrams in this game, in Doofus?
No.
Okay. So that's not appropriate. Wow.
I know.
Okay, that's okay. We're getting the game started right now, except for Impa, who was going to the controls screen briefly. Hopefully, they're able to get rolling in just a second. Ah, the dog barks.
The dog does bark.
Okay, this game is becoming so good already.
I mean, it's real good. So, I wish I could tell you what the whole point of this game is. I honestly have no idea because I couldn't find a manual or anything.
The whole
the game doesn't
point
tell
of
you
the game is
anything.
that you're a doofus.
Yeah, and so you can go around and figure all this out with bouncing balls and a dog.
Okay. By the way,
And
Impa...
one-hit kills.
Go ahead. Wait, you die in one hit?
You sure do.
Okay. There's a lot appearing on screen. I mean, I guess Mario, until you got any power-ups, you'd die in one hit. Do you have any way to gain, like, an extra hit or a shield or anything?
Not that I can find.
Okay. Less good. But, I mean, like, Sonic.
Yeah.
This is like Sonic without the rings.
Kinda, yeah.
Look. On the bottom left, bottom right, we have just a dog doing a little dog minigame,
Yep.
I guess. That was
Yeah,
cute.
you can find dog mini games. As far as I can tell, the dog's name is Dog.
Your name is Doofus and the dog is Dog.
That's what it seems like.
Okay, I'm not a huge fan of your projectile because of the way that it arcs. It
Yeah,
looks like it would be difficult to use.
It can be. You have to be real careful because in some of these cases you get bugs and stuff that you would hit as you jump that it arcs away from them. So you basically, in some of these cases, have to jump and shoot at the same time and hope it hits them going across. Otherwise, you get hit.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say probably going a little bit slower is completely fine, especially early on.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Come on, dog. Ooh, somebody made a really good comparison. Mickey Mouse-capade. And that might be probably the best way to compare this game. Even more than Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
But instead of Minnie, you got this dog.
You got the dog, and the dog's about as useful.
Minnie actually got a projectile if you got the right upgrades, though.
If you got it in the first level. If you missed it, you got hosed the rest of the game.
Yeah, everybody, you should honestly go and try Mickey Mouse-capades. I would say it's not a good game, but it's fun. Yeah, and if the dog dies, you die.
Yeah, whereas the difference in Minnie Mouse-capades is that Minnie didn't take any damage, so...
I mean, that's true, but Minnie also didn't always copy every jump that you made just right. Every once in a while, she would fall to her death. Can the dog fall to his death?
Yes.
Like,
so, Dragus has made it to, like, the first... Yeah, if Minnie misses a jump, you die, but Minnie won't take damage.
I like this
so
mustache
Dragus
guy.
has gotten through the first, like... thing. There's a guy that you can buy, like, upgrades from, and I have no idea how to use them because couldn't find a manual.
Cordan. You're like, there are upgrades. You probably can't use them. What is this audio in the store?
Yeah, it just stops. It just stops wherever
stop.
you were at.
Oh, yeah, we've got a note there. Apparently there's a password in the shop. Where's the password?
There is a password in the shop.
Where? Where?
The guy said it right, like, away. So let's hope they figured it out. And can they use passwords? Absolutely.
If they can write it down correctly.
So Macy have figured out the menu to use upgrades, which is something I never did because I never really tried.
You never really tried. Well, there we go. Hey, it looks like Dragus is entering a password. Good. Let's see if it works.
It definitely did its thing.
Wait, was it just QD?
No.
No. I think he accidentally typed a D in there and was having a hard time figuring out what backspace was. There we go.
No, what he's doing is you had them reset their controls to avoid it, right? You can hit Q in the way the controls were originally set up and it brings up the on-screen keyboard.
Yeah.
And so we had a thing set up to not use that.
How do you get rid of that menu?
You set the controller to be a CD32 controller instead of like the retro pad that it normally uses.
Okay.
And that gets rid of all of this.
Now, like, once the menu pops up, are there hotkeys to get rid of it? What do you press?
Yeah, Q. Or you can press the shoulder pads on your controller.
I'm gonna just tell him.
We did tell him, right? He brought it up in testing. This is what's going on, and I said, "Here's what you can do." But he's got it figured out, right? You got the password in.
Okay. That works. And he keeps going back into that menu. Yeah, let me just go ahead and say there's a reason you should test things. Test the controls that you have set up so that doesn't happen. Nobody else is having a problem with it right now.
And as I said, and we definitely discussed this beforehand.
Well, everybody, we are about 7 minutes into Doofus for the Amiga. It's... I don't know. Like, visually, it looks pretty okay. There's a little bit too much happening on the screen, but whatever. Music-wise, it's pretty okay.
As I said, for a music game here, right? It's not so bad. Like for a Kusto game, the music's pretty good, and that just was a great example there about Dragon's Cloud, where the dog got killed and he didn't.
Yeah, he jumped over the boulder. The dog did not. That was pretty.
Yep.
Like, how are you going to deal with that? You just got to make sure you get your dog somewhere. It's almost more of a puzzle at that point than a platformer.
Yeah. You just have to be real careful about it.
I'll go ahead and refresh the stream at the bottom right. You know what? It's Sunday. The internet's probably way busy. Comcast is like, we don't let any of our support work today because they don't really work any day.
It could just be Twitch, too.
Could be Twitch, yeah. But I want to blame Comcast. Comcast? Well, that's okay. I am happy to refresh as needed as we go on. Honestly, all the players are getting the hang of at least the first level or two, getting a feel for the platforming. How is the platforming, by the way, in the game? How are the controls? Slippery?
Real slippery.
Okay.
So the whole game is kind of like playing ice physics. And so you'll see them try to be real careful on jumps and everything on that, because you basically have to. It is not good.
Yeah, I can tell. It's a little bit rough. You can even see the sliding around.
Yeah. Right, and so having your dog with you like that, right, just makes everything worse, because not only is it really slippery physics, you have to be very particular about what you do.
Oh, yeah. This noise. There's the password, though, for Almatia. It's helpful, at least. Usually, players either write it down or take a screenshot, find some way to store it.
Well, the problem here that you can see on Almatia's screen, you see a screen, is that it uses Z's and 5s and S's and the 5s and the S's. Right, yeah, and they all look similar.
That's a little bit rough. So I'm taking a little bit of a look at that review that you were talking about that gave this a 4%.
Yeah.
And their subtitle here is, if games were people, this would be George Formby. And I have no idea who that is. But, so they say, the scene, heaven. God is interviewing a new arrival called, in a clever theatrical subtext fashion, Richard Everyman. So you're a computer game fan. Yeah? God examining a sheet of paper. Well, everything seems to be in order, Richard. You'll be playing this cute little platformer for all time. Right, I thought that insurance fraud would have counted against me. Insurance fraud? You are Richard J. Everman, aren't you? No, my middle name's Quentin. Oh, dear. Oh, dear? And then he brings a much thicker note folder of notes out. Richard Q. Everman, insurance fraud, armed robbery, and first-degree murder. Is this you? It was a mistake. I explained everything away in court. And perjury. Oh, dear. Looks like an eternity playing Doofus for you. Uh-oh. So,
this game is, it's not good.
Actually, the whole review in this magazine is a back and forth between God and this guy. Wow, this is something.
Almacia got a bonus.
Oh, yay, a bonus.
So we definitely know there are bounds in the game.
Good. Yay, bonuses. Okay, starts off innocently enough. You're this doofus chap. You've got this dog that follows you a second or two behind, so the idea is to get through the level without either you or the dog getting killed. But after that, it goes rapidly downhill. Do you want to hear about the broad sweeping problems or the individual faults? Doesn't matter, I'll tell you everything anyway. Broad sweeping problems first, I think. There's no gameplay in this game. You're meant to be shooting the killer creatures in order to earn enough money to afford various power-ups like orbiting bullets or floating bubble of invincibility, but the whole thing is so preposterously easy, there's no point. The creatures on each level are exactly the same as those on the previous ones. Some fly, some bounce, and the others walk back and forth, and only the graphics are different. There are only two kinds of platform, blocks which you can stand on and blocks which kill you, and they aren't used in an ingenious or interest-testing manner at all. I don't know. Okay, this person apparently thought the game was too easy?
I guess. I mean, you know, I guess maybe the only thing I can think of is that from a standpoint of, 1995 gamers, right? Maybe this was easier because we were used to stupid crap.
I mean, yeah,
right. But nowadays, maybe, it's not really that easy as we can see, because I mean, you can see where people have, we still got people on the first level.
Oh yeah. I love that this is essentially saying that basically it's almost impossible to get the dog killed. The review is,
but we're doing it all the time.
Yeah, we've seen. That's a lie. Yeah. Maybe you're just good at protecting dogs, British people. Us Americans.
We definitely know how to kill dogs.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately. Oh, Dragon's Cloud's dog died. See? Come on, British reviewer. You are so wrong. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Hang on. Fire at the creatures coming straight at you and miss. There are two things that can't be shot, a bobbing spider and a barrel. But if you don't feel up to simply jumping over them, you can always conjure the invincibility bubble and flows past them. Okay. Collision detection, it's useless. Many and varied icons lying around that you can collect. They're useless, except for one, which reverses your controls. Wait, there's a pickup that reverses controls?
Apparently there is.
Uh-oh. Okay, the graphics, they're useless. Wait, you can't say that graphics are useless, okay? They do the job here. They actually look fairly decent.
I was going to say, given what we've seen a lot of in the past couple of weeks, I would say these are almost good.
This guy is also saying the font is useless and terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay, this reviewer was just having a really bad day.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's why they gave it 4% score.
I mean, I definitely think that there's a lot of things wrong with this game. It doesn't deserve a 4%.
Oh, well, okay. He said that it's a problem when trying to get passwords written down.
That I'll agree with.
And he said the music is unpleasant. How could you say this, reviewer? Okay, Jonathan Nash, I'm going to go ahead and look you up and see how dumb you were. Okay, Jonathan Nash, moron. Actually, I'm not going to type moron in here. I found a doctor named Jonathan Nash. You should have stayed a doctor, not reviewing video games. Stupid Jonathan Nash. Well, okay, I really don't know if there's too much about it, but yeah, he worked for Amiga Power. Oh yeah, Amiga Power, everybody. Apparently any regular reader there knew that somebody like Guns or that Jonathan Nash enjoyed Animaniacs, so he probably just gave a good review to every Animaniacs review. And if there was anything weird in Amiga Power, Jonathan Nash wrote it. And apparently just put his own pictures in a lot of the game, or in a lot of the reviews, because he didn't really feel like putting pictures of the game. Wow, this guy's kind of a jerk. Okay, so no wonder he gave it a 4%.
Sorry, I'm trying to help sort out some of Almatia's issues.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free to help people out, because we've still got plenty of action going on in the screen. Like, the guy, the shanty dude on Dragus Cloud screen who's selling bombs and stuff and money. Wait. Time is money. So I guess technically he's selling money then. It's honestly a little bit hard to tell how far the players are just visually. I believe Dragus Cloud is making the most progress right now, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, Almatia working on getting some of the technical difficulties sorted out here with entering the password. Can always be a little bit of a trick. But Dragus Cloud is moving forward. Yeah, I think that is one of the biggest crimes so far. The fact that each level looks fairly similar to each other. It's very samey. But I don't think it deserves a 4% yet. I mean, look at the mustache guy. That's at least 5%. That alone. But yeah, it looks like the highest rating that I see out of the official reviews is a 69% in the Amiga Joker. Everything else is below that. So maybe it's just Amiga actually had reviewers who gave decent spectrum of scores. Yeah, thank you, chat. I appreciate it. Oh, but it's definitely not the most loved game in the world. Not at all.
No, it's not.
You nerds. You're all nerds in chat. I'm just stating the facts, okay? Just stating the facts over here, because Doofus did get reviewed by some people. This came out, by the way, in 1993, developed by a company called Sphinx. Guess how many games they made?
Just this one.
Yep. That's it. So there might be reasons why they didn't exactly do the best. The coding was done by Maurice Penners. This was Maurice's only game. Also done by Raymond Penners, his only game. Graphics done by Erwin Penders, his only game. Music done by Jerwin Swede, their only game. And then someone else helped out with audio, his only game. Product manager Walter Conrad, and he helped with a few other games. Oh my gosh, including a game called Sony Game. Sony Game? What does that mean? Oh, it's a German language promotional platformer game controlled with a keyboard or joystick, starring a grinny Sony Walkman with arms and legs. This is terrifying, Corndan. You play as a Sony Walkman. I don't know. I didn't know that Nightmares went that far. Oh, and guess what? He worked on another game that we actually had the other day called Lethal Zone.
Oh, yeah?
The German horizontal shooter. He just worked on, I believe, the Amiga and Commodore 64 versions of that. Yes.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh. We always manage to find some sort of connection, and I'm happy. Anyways, yeah, I would say that these people basically just got together, made one game, and then because of how unsuccessful it was, never made anything again. However, it was published by Prestige. Yeah, and they published 4 games. That's it. Sword of Honor sounds a little bit interesting, though. Like, compared to the others, it looks absolutely terrible, though. And I'm not going to look at that anymore, because, wow, that's ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a few various companies named Prestige. There was one in France. There was one that's just named Prestige Gaming that made some Wizard of Oz slot machines, as far as I can tell. Yeah, this company is one of those strange, very little known companies. At least there was a DOS version of this game.
Yeah, it's not any better.
Yeah, but this is the same guy who moved on and worked on the Crysis games, the Rise games, Mission Impossible? Yeah, that's probably not a good one. Far Cry, the original Far Cry, worked on that. Also worked on Sony game, thank you. So at least somebody, at least there was one person who moved on and had a little bit of a career who worked with this company. And that was Ku5ogrande Müller. Yeah, it's dead. The language is dead, officially, because I killed it.
Well, yes.
Wow. So, Corndan, what are your thoughts so far about how the players are doing?
So I would say they're doing mostly how I expected. I expect to see a couple level clears by now. Dragon's Cloud is doing really well.
Very nice.
You know, but we've had some issues on controls because this game is being a butt.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. But as usual, if there is something that is being a technical difficulty, you know, our referee can make a call to extend time for a little bit.
And he has said, as what Cadis has said, this is a bonus time scenario if needed. So cool. I gave him a couple of options on how to fix the problem. One is the virtual keyboard that you're seeing, and the other one is to just do a game focus setup, which then gives you the full keyboard and doesn't try to do anything weird, and that works just fine.
Cool.
So they are going to be fine.
That's good to know. Honestly, you know, my guess is that very few people have ever actually had the chance to play it, but that for a platformer on the Amiga that came out by a no-name company, honestly, the graphics are pretty good, and the dog behaves a lot better than I would expect.
Yeah, I mean, if I had been given this game as a kid, right, I'd have just, to be honest, I'd have just kind of accepted the BS that goes with it, because that's kind of pretty, you know, it's pretty representative of like the mid-90s like crap, right? So I wouldn't have even thought that this would be an issue.
Yeah,
you know, I'd have just played this.
Yeah, probably the same here. You know, if this were a game that I just downloaded from my library back in '93, it would have been fine. You know, I would have had fun.
And you wouldn't have known any better, right? Because there were so many games like in this sort of I want a platformer, right? There's so many games that fall in line with like the same sort of thing. I mean, think about it, like Jazz Jackrabbit, kind of the same sort of thing, except you get more guns and you have hit points. And both of those things are a huge improvement over Doofus. But you know, Jazz Jackrabbit was also made by Epic, right? And so it had a better production value than this.
For sure. I'm looking, this is the same year that games like Doom and Alone in the Dark 2 came out. Day of the Tentacle. There were some really solid games. Sam and Max, one of the Sam and Max games.
Yeah, and the Sam and Max game, right, of the time. And Sam and Max and Day of the Tentacle have Amiga releases that are really good.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, for a lot of the LucasArts stuff, the LucasArts ports to Amiga were actually probably the definitive ports.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Honestly, there were still a lot of games. If the games weren't too expensive, a game like this coming out in 1993 at a reasonable or free price would have been fantastic and perfectly acceptable in 1993.
Oh yeah, this was probably like a like if this were like a $5 game, I could totally see it.
Yeah, it's just people were definitely paying for the 3D stuff. That was where the money was at that time. Myst came out in 93. Doom,
was it 93?
According to the website I'm looking at, which is google.com.
All right.
Yeah, Master of Orion. So this was, go ahead.
This was a 28-pound game. They wanted $50 for this. I don't think I'd have paid $50 for this.
No, I wouldn't have paid $50 for this.
$5? $5, sure.
Yes. Oh my gosh. $50. Yeah,
$50. Yeah,
and that is money from 1993. Yeah, everybody. Basically, that would be about today $90. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, at the time, it had been like $50.
Well,
right?
It would have been $50, but like converted to today's amount of money, like video games, even though the price has stayed the same, they've become significantly cheaper because of inflation.
Absolutely.
But also because more people are buying them these days. Honestly, not nearly as many people bought video games back in 93. It was very niche. And for the Amiga, considering that the Amiga was very much not known in the US as much as any other computer or console.
The Amiga had its niche in the US. There were certain things the Amiga did that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Right. The thing that the Amiga was really used for a lot in the US, right? It wasn't necessarily a home, a lot of people didn't necessarily use it as like a home computer, but it got used a lot because it had a couple of really good add-ons that you could get for it to do overlaying on NTSC videos. So an Amiga 3000 was probably the best video editing equipment you could have in 1990.
Oh, that's really cool. I had no idea. Well, yeah, I think that honestly, Commodore made some really good choices. I think that I wish there would have been a way to have an Amiga and still like have money left over, because they were not cheap. But, I mean, if they were made for professional video editing, or at least really good at that, it sort of makes sense that they wouldn't be the cheapest out there on the market.
Yeah, so the big thing used on was called the Video Blender, and it did Luma key and Chroma key and basically everything that we
90s?
use. Yeah, in the 90s, in real time.
What?
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
That is...
It did wipes and animations and overlay and all of that, right? Effectively with a desktop PC, which at the time you would have needed a mainframe mostly for.
That is nuts. Like, for 93, because I remember, like, even in junior high, I was in some technology class and I did some film editing, and even then I don't recall using computers in order to edit film. I just remember doing some really jank stuff using VCR tapes, and
Yeah. And it could do all of that, right? It worked as a gen lock and everything to go with it. It was great.
that is amazing.
And got used for like production stuff for a long time, like a lot longer than you'd expect.
I'm just amazed. Okay, that is really, really awesome. Yeah, video games, not necessarily the most popular video games out there, although there are some really good games for the Amiga.
Yeah, and
this isn't one of them.
This is not one of them, but there are definitely the companies that made full use of the Amiga really had some really good stuff out there. And the other nice thing about the Amiga was that, unlike IBM compatible PCs, right, and standard DOS, like even the Amiga 500, right? I mean, this could be played on the Amiga 500, right?
Wow.
So like every, outside of a couple of things, AGA enhanced games, right? Everything else could have been played on like a bare bones Amiga. And so had the Amiga had better advertising and everything over here, right, it definitely would have made a bigger impact on the computer industry than it did.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking at the background. Look, there are birds flying through there, and not only that, but there's parallax, or at least a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to know more about it, a couple years back, Ars Technica did a really good write-up on the Commodore Amiga, and what was going to be a couple of articles turned into like a 10-article series about it and how everything got done. It was really interesting.
Ooh, that would be.
It's actually what turned me on into trying to get some of the simulated and played, because like everything that was on there, I had a Commodore 64 growing up as a kid. And I always kind of wanted the Amiga because everything you hear about this, like, definitive versions of things and all in there.
Yeah. Wait,
and
you had a Commodore as a kid? Aw.
I did. My very first computer was a Commodore 64.
Aw. I guess ours was an Atari 800 XL. Yeah.
So my understanding is in my parents' basement somewhere is also a VIC-20. But they had a Commodore 64 by the time I was old enough to use anything.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
So the fact
I
is
have
that,
no
like,
idea where anybody is.
Like three guys can make a game of this quality.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to use that term really loosely, but I mean, think about it. Like three guys made this game. Right. In an era where, it would take a company like LucasArts or Epic or something like that, like much larger teams to make similar-ish sort of games.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big deal.
It's honestly really good. Oh my gosh, Dragon's Cloud is just trying to rush and getting the dog killed over and over again. Stupid reviewer who gave 4% because the dog never dies.
The dog dies all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you had nothing else to play, this would be just completely fine. Like, not the best, not the worst.
Yeah.
I remember playing some rather crappy versions of games on my uncle's computer to pass the time while visiting over there. And, you just played whatever was there.
I mean, I definitely remember playing a lot of really bad EGA games. This is an improvement over that.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember this game from my childhood. Okay, everybody, if you can help. There was a game where you were trying to cross a desert, and I think your icon was a camel. And you were trying to not die. And it was mostly text-based, and you would move a certain amount per day. It might just be called Camel. It was not Weird Dreams.
I mean, if you want a game that's like that, except not a camel, there's always Scunny's Desert Raid.
Scunnies. No, I don't.
Yeah,
know.
there's a Scuddy game set in the desert.
There were different events that would happen, and you'd have to like choose a choice. And you had to, I'm trying to remember. Camel game for PC.
I don't know, but it appears we have Tina back.
Tina's back?
Tina's internet must have come back.
Tina, hello. Tina's probably not here at all.
Tina ran away.
That's okay.
I mean, I would have loved to have Tina in to talk about her thoughts about the dog.
The dog is kind of cute, except he has got a clown nose. That's the only fault. Bark! I love it.
So, we're starting to see here. It looks like Almacy is on the second world now.
Oh,
yeah. Same with.
Oh, that's why it looks different.
She's on World 2.
I actually didn't know that was World 2. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jonathan Vare's group, come on over. He's an artist. He's been pretty dang awesome. Come join us for some bad games.
So Tina, tell us about the dog.
I hate this dog so much. This is the worst dog in the world.
Wait, why? Okay, talk to me.
So how many times has somebody died because the dog just decided to faceplant into some sort of hazard or an enemy or something? So
a lot.
Oh, weird how that would happen. And then it just smiles at you. It smiles like nothing's wrong.
Does it smile when it dies?
Oh yeah, that face doesn't change.
Yeah, it smiles, but it's kind of upside down. It's bad.
Yeah,
I don't like this dog. This is, you know how they say it's a cartoon name. Like all dogs go to heaven, except this one. This one does not get to go to heaven.
Just don't let it die, Tina. That's all.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
It really is a tall order to not kill this dog.
Like, yeah, he kind of deserves it. Look how he's so stuck up about everything, just enjoying running around. But, I don't know. At the same time, at least he pretty much follows in your track almost 100%, right?
100%, absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely 100%, okay.
And therein lies the problem. The dog lacks a brain.
He's just like 2 seconds behind you or something like that.
Yeah, but if you ever played, like, what is it, Celeste? You had the weird ghosty Celeste that was 2 seconds behind you who would murder you.
Yeah, that ghost was also responsible for your death, so
yeah.
Fitting.
Yeah, and you know what? It was fine.
Was it fine?
Well, I mean, it would kill you, but it was fine. Like, all you had to do was plan. This one, you just need to keep your shadow alive, okay? Don't let
Dying
your shadow...
is fine. Rocincha 2020. Unfortunately, the zeitgeist of our era, really.
Wow. I feel like I would be able to deal with this mechanic and deal with it pretty okay. Like, I've played
really
a lot.
Interesting. I wonder if anybody has 1 or 2 year sub anniversaries coming.
Tina?
I mean, I have a 3-year sub anniversary.
Yeah, Tina. I think you've got a 3-year anniversary as well. Wow, that's not cool.
I mean, I want to point out here, this is like 7 or 8 levels, right? Like 7 or 8 worlds, and the long play is like 39 minutes, and we are 40 minutes into like partway through world 2 because of that stupid dog.
Yeah, honestly, I would say 100% it's the dog that is holding players back, because you have to think both for yourself and the dog.
I do need to ask one really important question.
Yes?
Did any players pick up the purple potion in World 1?
I don't know.
What's
the one that reverses your controls, and it's right next to a ledge, and then you fall down and die?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, it's not good. Probably.
I mean, look, I found something that said that it reversed the controls. I had no idea what reversed the controls, and neither did Corndan. So at least that's why we have you here, Tina, to complain about the game.
Yeah, that was the moment that I fell in hate with this game.
Aw, it's a match made in hell.
I mean, my thing is I probably hit that potion, but the game controls are so slippery. If I fell off, I wouldn't have noticed because I was like falling off like crap all the time.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah,
So
like
to be
nothing
fair,
you're
I
saying
might not have
here.
noticed.
Nothing you're saying here is actually dissuading me from enjoying this game. Okay, I'm still a
It's
fan.
easy to enjoy other people hating this game. I'm really enjoying now that I'm not the person with, the controller in my hand.
Yeah, and
This is great.
oh, we have a third world on Dragus Cloud screen. Very nice.
Is way better at this game than I am. I put
Way
in
better
about
than
40.
me too.
I put in about 40 minutes, and I made it to about where Natara is.
Okay, I mean,
So,
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah. So-
Right. That's when I went looking and went, oh, the long plays that long. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Is this ice physics?
The whole game is ice physics.
Yeah, I mean, it's as much ice physics as the rest of the game, it looks like.
Are you sure it's not more ice physics?
I have
I'm
no
not. I
idea.
didn't make it here.
I mean, there are passwords. You could go and try it right now.
I could, but I'm not going to. You can try it right now.
I'm producing. Did you hear yesterday? I'm a producer. I produce videos.
I'm proud of you for producing content on the internet.
I mean, I could get Minicorn over here, and he might even have choice words about this, but he'd probably just talk about wanting the dog.
Well, the good news is that the dog would follow him everywhere.
Well, good.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go cook dinner. I just heard my computer become online again, so I realized, oh no, I joined the call. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, go have fun, Tina. Yeah, speaking about eating things, in addition to being a producer, I'm also an eater of chips. Yeah, I'm consuming chips. They're pretty good. Highly recommended.
I will be consuming macaroni and cheese tonight.
If it's homemade, it's good.
It's from a box, but the kid really likes it.
Oh no, Corn Dad.
No, it's better than the Kraft mac and cheese. It's the Annie's white cheddar or whatever, and I think it's actually pretty reasonable.
Does it have like bacon in it? That might make it okay.
I mean, I could put bacon in it.
Ooh.
I do not put bacon in it, but I could. But Annie's white cheddar from a box is actually fairly good. I don't like their standard stuff, but the white cheddar is good.
Yeah, chat seems to agree there.
You should try it sometime. And the reason I have it is because you can get huge boxes of it at BJ's.
At where now?
At BJ's, right? It's like Sam's or Costco.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have that here, but it's Utah.
Well, if Utah had it, they might be better off.
True. Well, everybody, we are 45 minutes into the match. Dragus Cloud is definitely in the lead. Everybody else is making some pretty good progress. Everybody's made it to the second world, which is great.
Yeah, as I said, we're making a lot more progress than I did.
Well, good. Wowzers. A new high score for Dragus Cloud. Nobody cares about scores. I'm trying to think. Honestly, Dragus Cloud is in the lead. For the other three, I just have a really hard time telling what level is what.
I know Natara is in last because she's not yet made it to World 2. And then
I thought Natara was on World 2. Maybe not.
Oh, no, maybe she just is, but Natara's been behind.
Yeah, I believe it's
right,
2-1. Yeah.
Between Savusa and Almacia, I don't know which one is in the lead. I guess we'll find out here, right? Savusa's made it. She's made it to 2-3.
Okay, 2-3. Almacia, enter the password so we can see what you're on. Because I just can't tell. 1-1? No, you're not on 1-1.
No, he put it, Albatia, he failed the password boss.
Oh, password boss. What a hard boss. Yeah, I think that... Oh, by the way, there is typing in Discord about the reverse controls that happened. So, yes, they have definitely experienced that, and yes, they are very unenthused. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is, yeah.
I was going to say, have you even looked at Discord? And I'm like, I haven't looked at it.
Clearly not.
Oh my gosh, Doofus, what a video game. Now,
well, and usually when people are complaining about controls, it's a lot more angry than what's in Discord here.
Yeah, they're very laid back. Wow, I do not like this.
I told you it was an awful game.
No, that's the way they're talking about it. It's like very low key. That's unenjoyable.
It is very low key.
It's like how Data would complain about something on Star Trek, you know? That's rather unpleasant.
Yeah, it's...
yeah. I love it. Anyways, we are getting close to the end of the match, but don't worry, we have 2 more matches coming up after this one. Honestly, you know, go grab a bagel. If needed, we do have a little bit of a break between the matches, so you will have time to run away for a teeny tiny bit if you want to come back to what's going on here. But I do recommend don't watch this without plenty of hydration.
I had water.
Okay.
I'm hydrated.
I've got a water bottle right here. Yeah, it's red. Got a lot of water.
Mine is not right here, but it is a black hydro flask.
Mine is a red, the label rubbed off, so I don't know. A red one. Something point. And it is vacuum sealed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mine is a double walled one. I really like it. It keeps all my stuff cold.
Yeah, it keeps my stuff cold. It is a little bit dented, though, so maybe it's not as insulated anymore.
I mean, don't throw it at Justin anymore.
No, I didn't. I'm just really good at dropping things. Okay?
Don't throw it at your sister anymore?
I've never thrown the water bottle at anybody. Maybe on accident once. Maybe I have. I don't know.
So Almacia seems to have gotten the right idea to use the floating bubble to just like go through the level as quick as possible.
Yeah, definitely a good call. Honestly, whenever there's a place with a gauntlet of enemies, you should probably just bubble and get through. That's the way that you play modern Mario games. You bubble up and you just get through.
Yep.
Yeah. So if anything, we're learning from Mario how to get through video games. Hey, 2.1 is down. Moving on to 2.2, I believe that puts a solid lead ahead of Natara. So at this point, we've got the order Dragus Cloud, Impa, or on Discord, their name is Sabusa, Almacia, and Natara.
But all of that could change. We still have like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, honestly.
So we could have a lot going on here, right? I think, at least with the way things have been playing, I think Dragus Cloud's lead is the top. But I think between the other 3, there's a lot of jockeying for position here still to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for anybody to pass Dragus Cloud at this point. I don't know if it's even doable, just because of how difficult the game is, despite what the reviewer said. It's like, oh, this game trivial.
Dragus Cloud, he's gotten it pretty well figured out. I mean, I've been kind of impressed. I've been watching Dragus Cloud, and it's a lot better than I ever played this game.
Yeah. Same here. A lot better than I've ever done. Hey,
Wow.
Dragus Cloud is through 3.2. Yeah, well, I've never played this game, Corndan. I know that's the joke.
But you should. I know, you should. I mean, it's real good. You should absolutely play it.
Nah, I'm good. I'll go ahead and pass. at least at this point. Like, and here's the deal. Here's the reason why I would be okay playing it, but looking at it, watching this game, everything is just so samey. It's hard for me to actually, like, recognize when things change, from level to the next. And it's just, unfortunately, because of that aesthetic, I can't really notice the ramp up of difficulty from 3.1 to 3.2 to 3.3. Even
in some ways, I'm not sure there is a ramp up in difficulty.
Yeah.
Right. Other than like placement, I'm not sure there's a ramp up in difficulty at all in the game. That review might be right. Like all the enemies are kind of the same. It seems like the difficulty here is in a lot of trap placement and kind of trick placement for enemies and things like that, more so than like the game just becomes like more difficult.
Yeah, I would agree. We do not have very many trolls or anything that stands out as this section is difficult. Like Dragon's Cloud died, but it wasn't necessarily any more difficult than any of the other places where people have died.
And we have seen that same sort of trap of you just don't have a lot of room to jump because we're going to make the ceiling short. That's been pretty consistent across all of the levels.
Oh yeah.
So from that standpoint, it doesn't appear to have changed really throughout the levels so far.
Yeah, I'm thinking even Mario 1 with fewer graphics and pretty much almost all the levels using the tile set, the levels were still more memorable than these.
Oh, absolutely. Right. The worlds here are memorable in that you get a palette shift.
Yep.
But the actual levels themselves, I have a hard time telling the difference. But the original Mario 1, right, did something I really like, right, to differentiate all of that. That isn't done here, and it's not done in a lot of games in the era, but I think that they did really well. Was that the first level of a world was always an outdoor level. The second one was an underground level. The third one was always the weird one with like mushrooms and stuff like that. And then the fourth one was a castle. And so if you knew what world you were on, you could take an easy look at whatever level it was and you'd know what it was without ever having to look at the world.
Was it actually that pattern?
Yeah.
I believe you are right. Yeah, I just never noticed that. Huh. I just thought, when you're on the level with the bridge, that one is hard, and you know that it's later on in the game. Like,
right. Well, the ones with the bridges and stuff are the world whatever -3.
Okay.
Right, with the flying fish or the mushrooms or stuff like that. Like that was always world 3.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like the whole goal of this game is to murder all of the animals, except for the dog. Maybe you're trying to establish species dominance over the rest of the world. Yeah, human and dog gonna come together and rule the world.
Or Ku5ogrande makes a good point in chat. Maybe this is just one heck of an escort mission.
So like the Rocco's Modern Life video game for Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that.
I hate that game so much.
Well, I think you should play that game. It's wonderful.
I have played that game. We've never had it in...
I mean absolutely awful.
Yeah, we've never had it in Ku5ogrande because I don't hate people that much.
I've thought about giving it out a couple of times.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. But, then again, you never know when a game is going to show up, so maybe one of these days we'll have that crappy permanent escort mission from Hades. We did have Eek the Cat. Cadus is correct, and that one was, dark the entire time, because thank you, Eek the Cat, for having a messed up...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and not just Eek the Cat. The Genesis version of Back to the Future Part 3 had a very similar issue. And that they cut out half of the RGB elements in it, and it made it dark.
I mean, it's just strange to me that they could ever let something like that ship out the door. Like, what were they thinking?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I think Eek the Cat's issue was that it used to be another game that they threw Eek the Cat into and then never changed it.
Yeah, but you need one person to at least play it and complete the game, at least beat the game once. If you
all right, let's
my
point out
gosh.
something, right?
Sure.
I mean, we've had the games that Dana has QA'd, right, on Ku5ogrande, and you know, I know Dana's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah.
Right, in terms of laying these out and the things he finds, right? And those games still ship like that.
Yeah, but at least they're beatable. At least, like, I don't know, like the last game that we were having, the version on the Spectrum, you legit could not beat it.
On the
It was-
Amstrad.
Or
Yes, I know.
whatever. Amstrad, Spectrum, they're different. And I know this. But yeah, it legit was not beatable. They were only selling that for like $2. I guess that might be forgivable. Honestly, I've bought bootleg consoles for more money that absolutely were stealing. You know, it's $2 is $2, but when you put together a game that is likely $50 or $60 that has a permanent graphical issue, you have done something very wrong and should be shut down by the government.
Well, I mean, yeah, sometimes it's not actually worth it, right? You know, as they mentioned in sometimes fixing these bugs will break everything else, so you just leave them in.
No, not something like that, though.
Yeah, no, oh, absolutely. Like, there's the RoboCop that they couldn't fix in time for the Commodore 64, so it, they made one of the jumps impossible to complete, so that you couldn't get to the broken stage.
So just don't ship until you can fix that.
But I don't think you understand. There's a lot of money in that. People will buy it because it's a RoboCop game.
I know, but it's about standards, Corndan. Do you want to be known as the next Color Dreams? Do you want to be known
Well, I mean,
about that? I'm talking from the mindset of management. I 100% know that it's not the programmer's fault with a lot of these things. But management needs to slow down, okay? And if management is not slowing things down, then they are the irresponsible ones, and they should be sued. Yeah. Yeah, I said it. They definitely should be. Anyways, that is it. That is time. We just talked about crappy video game companies and how
well, yeah.
It's not the programmer's fault. It's not quality assurance fault. It's management's fault. And it's management's fault that time.
Yes.
You know what? Dragus Cloud managed to take the victory today. Let me go ahead and see if there is anything else. Almeisha is basically saying, yeah, accepting that second. We're not going to have extra time for this. It looks like Almeisha took second, Dragus first, and I believe
Sabusa
Sabusa
third, and Natara in fourth.
Yeah, that appears to be the order then. So I'm letting Dragus know if he would so like, he can come and join General Voice, come chat a little bit about the experience here, because this is certainly a video game. Hello there, Dragus Cloud.
Hello.
Oh, I was expecting a little bit more anger behind the voice there, but that sounded fairly reasonable. Congratulations on your victory today.
This game wasn't really that bad.
What? So it didn't deserve the 4% review that it got from one of the magazines of the day?
I feel like the level design was mean, but Steph was doing okay. Too many trolls, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's consistent, right? You know, it's not just going to kill you just because. It's going to kill you because of bad design and trolls.
Oh, yeah. Like, definitely, I think with a little bit more elbow polish. Elbow polish? I don't think that's the right term. Grease? Elbow grease. Why do elbows have grease? With a little more work, it could have been just fine. And honestly, you know, maybe they did have a deadline that they were striving for and management messed it all up, but maybe they just figured, you know, let's go ahead and release and get this game out into the world. I'm not sure. It could have used more work, though.
I think they more wanted mean level design, though, from what I've been playing here.
You think that they really wanted that mean level design?
Yeah, I think so, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hard to see traps, plenty of, like, surprise enemies.
Oh, yeah. I think my biggest complaint is that the levels, like, were pretty forgettable for viewers, at the least. I'm not sure about for you. Because, you know, there were probably certain areas that you'd get to and you remember because of how bad they were. But for us, it was hard to tell what was going to be difficult and what wasn't.
Yeah, stuff is, like, starting to blend together for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just my imagination here. Is this a game that you could possibly play a little bit more, though?
Maybe. It
Maybe.
wasn't too bad for the most part.
Wait, what about the music? Because Natara apparently is saying that the Doghouses, the music was terrible. But I thought the other music was pretty fine in the game. Did you enjoy it? Did it get old for you?
I didn't notice it getting old. It's not special, but it's like it was starting to just blend into the background.
So, sort of like the quote from, I would say, Persona 5. Not terrible, but not impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so very,
More or
very
less.
average. Well, good. Dragus... Oh, Corndan, did you have something?
No, I was going to say I agree with that and the being made in chat that I've played games with much worse music, honestly.
Yeah, and my assessment was if I played this as a kid, I would have had fun. So, with that said, Dragus Cloud, you have played in Ku5ogrande before, I believe. Is there anything that you're streaming these days or anything that people should go check you out for?
Not sure I'm streaming too much. It was mostly just tournament, the free enterprise Babu Gauntlet tournament, but I've already finished my run.
Ooh. Well, that's cool. Honestly, you know, it's still good to support each other when it comes to tournaments and such because, you know, if you follow someone and there's a tournament going on that you really want to watch, turns out that is a way that you can find out about it. So I do recommend all of the streamers here do have their own individual Twitch channels. Go and follow them. They were the same names that were on the layout. Dragus Cloud, thank you so much. Congrats again on the victory, and good job everybody else who played today. Corndan, thank you for the game. I will talk to both of you later. Take care.
Thanks. See you next time.
Yeah, till next time. Everybody, this is Ku5ogrande. We do have more matches coming up. We've got 2 more matches. I'm going to go ahead and run a quick 60-second ad so that I can focus and get some of the stuff ready, and then we will reveal the Game Master. Stay tuned.